Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm XGodz, and today I'm going to show you how to complete the Shangri-La Easter egg in Zombie Chronicles. So there is one requirement for this Easter egg, and that is that you do need 4 players. But once you have 4 players, head on into your Shangri-La game, and the first thing we're going to be doing is turning on the power. It's underground, it's very easy to do. Once you have the power turned on, head back on up towards spawn, and you will notice these 4 buttons right here. This is why you need 4 players. So what you need to do is you need everybody to go to a button, do a little countdown, say like 3, 2, 1, and then on go, everybody hold square. If you do this right, the button will press into the wall and you will go into eclipse mode. We will be doing this a lot in this Easter egg. But once you are in eclipse mode, follow this pathway, and down here there is a little button on the wall. What you need to do is have one player hold square. This will spawn a bunch of tiles on 2 sections of the map. This is the first section where tiles will spawn. You guys will notice they are on the ground right here. There are 12 of them right here. What you need to do is have one player stand on this side of the map, and then the other player, I'll show you where the other tiles are. The other tiles are going to be located right across over by the bridge, right past the mudroom. So to do this step, you need to have one player step on a tile, and what will happen is a symbol will show up on that tile. You guys notice here I get the moon symbol, and then I quickly back off of it. When you back off of it, the second player's job is to find that same tile. So you need to give them a shout out of what tile that you have on the ground, and then they need to go and find it. Once they find it, you can step back on yours. But while they're looking, nobody step on another tile, because if you have 2 players step on a tile and they're incorrect, you will have to reset this entire thing and you'll need to do this all over again. I have a cheat sheet right here of all the tiles and the callouts that I used. I'm not the best artist, but I tried my best to draw you guys these and what the callouts that we were using were for this game. So this is all of the symbols that you can get. There are 12 of them. They are in the 2 locations by Jug and Stamina, or Jug and Speed Cola, on the 2 sections of the spawn area of the map, right past the mudroom, and then the other section is by that minecart. So once you get all 12 of them, you will know you have this complete when an audio cue will go, and then you will be kicked out of eclipse mode. You can also be kicked out of eclipse mode by just time running out, but you'll know you have this done when you get all 12 of the tiles. Just try not to step on any incorrect tiles, or you'll have to redo that step. So after completing the first step of this Easter egg, you will need to go into eclipse mode again. You're going to be doing this a lot in this Easter egg. There's a ton of eclipse modes. You have to do it for pretty much every step. But once you are in eclipse mode, you're going to need everybody to head down the water slide, and there's a little grate that you're going to need to stand on. You guys will see where it's at whenever I slide down this. You need to have 3 players standing on the grate, and then the 4th player will need to slide down this water slide and hold square on a little switch on the wall. Here is the switch. I'm going to pause it right here. That is the switch that you're going to need to hold square on. You'll hear a little audio quote whenever you get this. It's like a little clicking noise, knowing that this is pressed in. And then if all players are standing on the grate, once you do this, you will complete this step. You will be kicked out of eclipse mode, and you will be able to move on to the next step. After this, you're going to need to hit the box a little bit, because we will be needing the baby gun to continue on to the next step. This is what it looks like. I didn't get it in my game, but once somebody has it, head back into eclipse mode again. Again, we're going to be doing this a lot, so everybody hold square on the buttons in spawn and follow the pathway over to this water slide again. From here, you're going to need either a grenade, a ray gun, any sort of explosive weapon. A meteor will strike right above the waterfall, and a crystal will land. You need to hit it with some sort of explosive. I used the ray gun. And then this is where you will need the baby gun. Someone will need to shoot it with the baby gun, and it will shrink. Once it's shrunken, knife it, and it will go down the water slide. Just follow it down here, and it will go into the little geyser in the back corner over here. Just stand on the geyser once it's here. Here comes the crystal right now. It will go land right on top of it, and then just take the geyser up, and it will launch the crystal into the sky. A new pedestal will spawn in, and the crystal will land right inside of it like that. This step will now be complete. Now next, you're going to need a napalm zombie, and this is what they look like. This is the hardest step in this Easter egg in my opinion, because it takes forever if you mess this up. Don't stand near napalms, or that will happen. You need to stand a little bit away from them, but once you have a napalm, head back into eclipse mode one more time, and we're going to be needing to go into the tunnel. So take the napalm and go to the section of the map that I am located in right here in this video, right next to where the perk spawns, and there is going to be a tunnel right down here. What you need to do is bring the napalm over here, and then right when you enter the tunnel, I'll show you guys what this looks like. There's a little rotating gear that you're going to need to press square on. There's a gear, and then there's a lever to the right of it. What we need to do is hold square on the little turning gear, and you need to do it 4 times, and this will spawn in gas. That is what it looks like in the top left. What you need to do with the gas is bring a napalm near it, and it will light it on fire. All you need to do is bring him down this tunnel, standing near all of the gas in this tunnel, to the power room. There are about 4 spawns, so I'm going to show you guys where these are. I'm going to speed this up a little bit because the napalm is extremely slow. Just follow the path that I do. There is more gas in here, right here in the corner, so just make sure that he lights that on fire before you leave this room. You do have to stand a little bit close to it. Just try not to get very close to the napalm or he will blow up. And once you get him down here, you guys will notice you have the gas will light on fire. Once you have this part of it complete, just continuously follow the pathway, and we're going all the way towards the power room. It's not too hard once you get the napalm and you get to the end of the round, but just make sure you're in eclipse mode when you're doing this, and you have the zombies somewhere far away so that you can just walk around with the napalm as you please. He will die eventually, but it takes a long time for them to despawn. So there is the next pile of gas, and then just head on into the power room. Once he's in the power room, if you have done this correctly, another player will need to go to the lever that is located right next to the wheel that we were pressing square on earlier. Here is a picture of it again. It is to the right of the wheel. There's a little lever there, and somebody else will need to hold square. If it goes down and you completed this step, it won't be able to be pressed unless you have gotten the napalm all the way through into the power room. While you're in the power room, make sure to purchase trip mines as well, because we will need them for this next step. So once you have trip mines, go back into eclipse mode again, and we're going to need to head on over towards the bridge. Now for this step, there are 4 holes in the wall. They are lit up blue except for the 4th hole. What you need to do is throw a trip mine opposite of the hole in the wall. So this is what it looks like right here. This is the hole. You need to turn around and throw a trip mine at it like this. This will launch the trip mine into the hole, and if you did it correctly, you will notice a little piece of the trip mine lodged into the hole itself. You need to do this for all 4 of the holes. So that is the 2nd hole. The 3rd one is right here, and then the 4th one is a little bit tricky. It is in the rocks. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like right here. This is the 4th hole right there. It's not blue like the other ones, but for this one, you're going to need to throw a trip mine a little bit higher up on the rocks. It doesn't work if you throw it down low like we did the other ones. For some reason, the hitbox is a little bit weird on it. But once you have all of these, follow this pathway, and then there's a little button over here that says don't hold square. Hold square, and if you did this right, water will not come through the holes where we plug the trip mines, and you will be able to move on to the next step. If you see water coming in, you did not do this correct. Next step, we're going to need to go into eclipse mode one more time, and there will be tiles around the map you'll need to knife. There are 5 in spawn, there are 2 in the mud room, 2 next to the minecart, and 3 underground. I'm going to show you guys all the locations except for 1, but the last one is very, very, very easy to explain. So here is another one that is located in spawn. That is the 4th one that we've knifed so far in this area. I'm going to show you guys the 2 near the minecart. This is the 1st one, and then there is a 2nd one a little bit up further right here, right next to the minecart. Also, you're going to need explosives because there's something out of the map over here that we'll need to shoot in a minute, but that's going to be after we knife all the tiles. So those are the 2 in the minecart. There is going to be 3 underground near power. This is the 1st one right next to the switch. There is another one underground. It is going to be located right here to the right. And then the 3rd one that is underground, these are only underground. These are the only 3 that are down here. So once you have those 3, just don't look down here anymore. You don't need any more. Here's the 1st one that is near the mudroom. Then I'm going to show you guys the last, or explain the last location for the mudroom in a minute. Here's another one that I didn't knife. I don't know how I didn't see it. That is one of the last ones from the spawn area. But the last, after you've done this, there's going to be a little piece of wood outside of the map. They're going to need to throw an explosive. The only tile that I don't show on this is right next to the water slide, next to the spinning wheel on the left side of the mudroom. So just keep that in mind, that once you have all these, the only one I don't show is near the spinning wheel in the mudroom. But once you've thrown the explosive at the little wooden shack, you will be done with the step. It will kick you out of eclipse mode. Once you are onto this step, we're going to be going into the mudroom, and I'll explain to you guys where the tile was in a second. But for this, you're going to need to turn these dials. So you need to turn this one until it is on the exact combination that I show here. That is where you need to turn that one to. Once you have this one turned, you're going to need to turn around. This one is in the back right, by the way. And then once you have that one, turn around. This one is going to be the first one to the right when you walk into the room. This one will need to be spun until it is on the 1 dot. After this, go into the top left, and this is where the tile is, by the way, that I didn't show. It's right next to this dial, so for when you're on the tile step, just keep that in mind. This one will need to be turned to 3 dots facing upwards, and then this one will need to be on 4 dots at the very top of it. It was already spun towards that, but that one will need to be on the 4 dots on the top. Once you have that on the correct combination, you will be kicked out of eclipse mode again, and we will be able to move on to the next step. So you guessed it, we're going to be going into eclipse mode again one more time. go into Eclipse mode, and from here you will need the upgraded baby gun for this step. So make sure somebody has it still, and you will need to upgrade it. There's a crystal up here that we'll be shooting, but what you need to do is go towards the gongs, and what you need to do is knife gongs in any order. It's random every single game. So if you knife a gong and the crystal doesn't light up red, you have the gong correct. We got the first two right on our first guess somehow, but this is going to be what it looks like if you guess a gong wrong. If you knife it and it turns red, that is not the one in the order. So what you need to do is just process of elimination, knife the gongs until it lights up orange. See, this is my first one. I knife it. It does not turn red. We know that is the correct gong. Once you have it complete, this is what it will look like. It will light up with the Treyarch orange logo up on the top of the crystals. With the upgraded baby gun, we will be shooting the crystal that I showed you guys a minute ago. So somebody needs to stand under this crystal. Someone's going to shoot it with the upgraded baby gun, and it's going to bounce around, and a piece of dynamite will drop. You need to catch this, back up and hold square, and make sure you catch the dynamite, or you will need to redo this. After that, there will be another crystal above the mudroom. It will be lit up orange like the other ones. We did this wrong, but I'm going to show you guys what it looks like if you do it right. If it is still lit up orange and you knife it, the crystal or the meteor above the Pack-a-Punch area will shrink. So just make sure that you shoot both crystals in the one Eclipse mode. So once you have that done, we're going to need to turn on Pack-a-Punch. So you need to stand on 4 tiles around the map to turn on Pack-a-Punch. The first one, it was located right near power. It is a little golden skull symbol. The second one is in the tunnel where we brought the napalm earlier. You need all 4 players to stand on these tiles at the same time. This is the third one right next to the bridge, and then the fourth one is right in the spawn area right on the middle. Once you have Pack-a-Punch open, head on up the stairs, and then the player with the dynamite will need to hold square on this wall. You guys notice the Pack-a-Punch machine is gone, and we have a player behind this wall that needs his dynamite to blow it up. So just hold square and it will kick you off of this, and then you need to turn on Pack-a-Punch one more time. So turn on Pack-a-Punch again, and make sure you're in Eclipse mode for this, for the first Pack-a-Punch time where you give him the dynamite. But once that is done, we will be able to head on up here and complete this Easter egg. So if you head on up the stairs, you will notice the focusing stone will be right here. If you hold square, you'll be able to pick it up. This will complete the Easter egg, giving all of the players in that game perks, all of the perks in the game, and you will also get the time travel will tell trophy, which will pop right here. It's a little bit delayed, but you will unlock it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys like this guide, make sure to leave a like on it. Until next time, I'll see you guys later with some more Call of Duty gameplay. Peace.